what? F those landfills. Fill them up. Put more gunk in the landfills. Hey guys, welcome back to the Style and Beauty Doctor here on YouTube. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about Verse skincare, which is a relatively newcomer to the drugstore skincare scene. Verse touts themselves as the cleanest drugstore skincare, period. They're vegan, cruelty-free, and they have a lot of ethos and sustainability when it comes to skincare. So I picked up a couple of products to try. So let's talk about it. Keep watching. So Versed has an ethos of skincare should not be complicated. And I agree with that. It shouldn't be complicated because, oh Lord, you watch some of these skincare videos and it's like, do I need a PhD in chemistry to wash my face? In some cases, yeah, maybe. But let's talk about Verse. So they say that they're the cleanest drugstore skincare brand, period. Developed for you, with you, and with our planet in mind. Our mission is simple: make good skin and clean products for all. And I just want to note that words like clean, I haven't come across the word natural yet because I'm just reading through their site as I'm filming here. But these aren't regulated terms, so brands sometimes just throw these words in there because they elicit an emotional feeling in some consumers. And a lot of it can be marketing, but I will continue. High performance, not hype. Formula first. Our products are made with proven ingredients of skin-changing levels and without the fussy packaging and conventional retail markups. So you only pay for what matters, the goop inside the bottle. I can get with that, but please hold, put a push pin in that. Guru guided. Think of us as your personal skin gurus, from the prescriptive icons on every product to our regimen building skin decoder quiz to our always buzzing DMs and text message based skin hotline. We got you. Okay, I like that. So it's like their customer service is on point, it seems. I don't have any personal experience with it. If you have, please leave a comment below. But I do like when you can go to a skincare brand and ask questions about products and what you should use with what, or hey, I'm having this type of reaction with this product, what should I do? If they are good with that, then I think that's a really great thing, and other brands should try to follow suit with something like that. So they are sustainably minded. Sustainability is a part of every decision we make, from recyclable and PCR packaging to fuel efficient shipping methods that have us nearing carbon neutrality and more. And then there's a link where you can see their impact. Sustainability is not my, obviously I'm not gonna be like, you know what, F those landfills, fill them up, put more gunk in the landfills. But it's not something that I'm well versed in. I mean, obviously, I try to reduce as much waste. If you go on the Verse site, you can read all of this information. But clean means more to us than ingredients. We are also committed to reducing waste, lightening our carbon footprint, and preserving Earth's ecosystems. And then they have a list of things that they don't put into their products. One of them being parabens. And the thing with parabens, there was a small study some years ago that talked about how dangerous parabens were. Then that theory was debunked. Sometimes when the bad news goes out first and then someone's like, hey, well, actually that's not true. It's like people already have it in their mind that the bad thing is like, oh my God. So I feel like with parabens, the damage was already done, and consumers were like, well, no, I don't want those parabens in there. And now, even though, there are studies that show that, they don't have that effect, that negative effect that people were so worried about, it's kind of too late. So it's like brands who know better still have to kind of write no parabens on there. First up, the Wash It Out Gel Cleanser with rose water and seaweed extract. You get 6.4 fluid ounces. I'll have the prices up on the screen. This is vegan, cruelty-free, fragrance-free, dye-free. Basically, it's a gentle cleanser with a light, frothy lather and a dash of refreshing mint. You massage a dime-sized amount of gel into your wet skin for about 30 seconds, rinse thoroughly, and pat dry. You can use this AM and PM. I actually really like this. One thing, if I can get a little superficial for a bit, but these kind of superficial things do matter because it's what kind of sometimes draws some of us to certain skincare brands. The packaging on this is really nice. It's aesthetically pleasing. I love the font, I love the color, and the price. You know what? I think I should bring up price because it does matter because this wasn't very expensive. Let me go into my Target purchases. So this cleanser was $12.99. So this did its job, you know? It's a gentle cleanser. I personally don't like to spend a lot of money on cleansers because I do feel like a lot of whatever benefit you're getting from them, you know, can kind of go down the drain sometimes when you wash your face. So I personally don't like to spend a lot of money on cleansers. I think I would probably cap my cleanser spending at maybe like 30, 35 bucks, unless something was like really, really cool and I was like, ooh, I'll spend $40 on it. But I feel $12.99 is a really great price, really aesthetically pleasing packaging. The cleanser itself felt great. It has a little slight soothing feeling. There is a smell to it. It smells a little like mint. Just like a little hint of mint scent in here. So the mint smell is peppermint oil, which can be sensitizing for some, especially sensitizing over time. So if you're someone who might be potentially worried about something like that, you might want to skip it. So I like this. I would use it again if I didn't already have 50 million other cleansers. Next up, we have the Photo Please Brightening Tightening Mask, and it has turmeric and kaolin clay in here. This is a red clay mask with turmeric that gently exfoliates to help brighten skin, improve the appearance of skin's texture, and leave your complexion looking energized. So with this, you apply an even layer to clean, dry skin. You leave it on for like 10 to 15 minutes and then you rinse it off with cool water. It says you can use this 1 to 3 times a week. And it's funny too, because one, I love the packaging on this because, well, with a jar, sometimes you can kind of scoop things out. But with something like this, I feel like it's so easy to kind of, you know, just squeeze that out. And this is a more sustainable packaging. I like things that have like little, I don't know, it's something very simple. I mean, it's important, but it's not like on the grand scheme of things, one of the most important things. But I like packaging like this, especially something that you can really tighten so that you're not drying out the products or letting in like all kinds of little gunkety gunks getting in there. This was $9.99. There's 12 plus applications in here, and it's funny, initially when I picked this up, I didn't see that it said 12 plus applications, because as I used it, I was like, wait a minute, like, I've used this twice. I do think you'll probably go through this pretty quickly especially if you're using it, you know, twice a week or so. You could go through something like this pretty quickly. The thing with it, my skin felt okay afterwards. There wasn't anything to write home about, nothing super dramatic. I wouldn't, even though, this is funny, because although I was drawn to this because it said brightening and tightening, in my mind, I was like, that's not gonna do much brightening and tightening for me. But I was still drawn to it. I think if you're looking to brighten and really improve the texture of the skin, that they have another product that I think that I would prefer to use more than this mask. But that's the thing with skincare, you know, there's so many products out there because a lot of us have different preferences. You know, we have different skin issues and skin types, and for some, a mask might be the great thing for them, but for me, I'd rather use another product to help to brighten and, you know, improve the skin's texture. And that's a perfect segue to talk about the Versed Weekend Glow Daily Brightening Solution. This is a 4-acid complex plus bearberry extract. The 4 acids in here are glycolic, lactic, azelaic, and kojic. So glycolic acid is a very popular anti-aging acid. It's in a lot of, you know, anti-aging products and things that are going to help to brighten and improve the skin's texture. Glycolic acid for some people can be, you know, irritating, and it can be a little much. So this also has lactic acid. Lactic acid is another alpha hydroxy acid that helps to exfoliate the skin. It helps to improve the skin's texture, but lactic acid is a little more hydrating, and it's not going to be as harsh on some skin types as glycolic acid is. So azelaic acid, I would say, is it's not as harsh. It's often used for acne or for rosacea. So azelaic acid is a nice, and acid sounds so like dramatic, right? But if you're kind of like ranking them, I would say azelaic acid is probably, you know, it can be less irritating than your glycolic or your lactic. And then this also has kojic acid, which is, you know, something that can help with brightening. But anyway, enough about the acids in here. I actually like this. This is something that, you know, it has a pump on it. You're gonna take a cotton pad or a cotton ball, and then you're gonna, you know, kind of pump, you know, maybe 1 or 2 pumps on there and put it on the skin. Depending on where you're starting with your skin, you might notice a difference within, you know, 24 hours. Obviously, if you've never, like if it's been a while since you've exfoliated, you'll probably see more dramatic results than someone who, you know, is being in touch with your skincare routine. I would prefer the brightening solution over the mask for brightening and improving the skin's texture. And for me, it's just a matter of how they get into the skin. You know, something like this is going to penetrate the skin in a different way than a mask would. So me, it's like, a mask is fun because it kind of helps you to like relax and sit for a couple of minutes and kind of luxuriate. But if I really wanted to like get in and get out, like this is where it's at for me. So next up, the Versed Silk Slip Conditioning Lip Oil. It came in a package like this. This has jojoba oil and vitamin E. And you squeeze and swipe, you put this on your lips as often as you please. It's for all skin types. Now, I love a lip oil for my lips. It just feels so good on. However, I didn't love this one. This is not going to, you know, pull me away from my favorite Ulta lip oil. This felt very sticky and it felt very thick. Now, of course, you know, an oil like this is going to feel a little bit thicker on. But the stickiness is what I didn't like. And then I also kind of felt like it didn't last very long either. So this is a no for me, but I do prefer to have the Ulta lip oil, the Juice Infused lip oil. You know, the ones I'm always talking about. I'll link it below as well as I'll link all the products that I'm mentioning here below as well. Next up, the Day Dissolve Cleansing Balm. This has eucalyptus oil and vitamin E. This was really nice. Now, it's no different than your regular cleansing balm. I feel like, you know, if you're gonna make a differentiation between cleansing balms, it's probably gonna be like maybe the price or maybe the fragrance or lack thereof. But this is a pretty decent cleansing balm. It kind of smells like Noxzema. It was kind of making me feel like reminiscent of like my 12-year-old skincare routine. But basically the way cleansing balms work is, you know, you get a dollop in. I would say with this one and with most cleansing balms anyway, because most of them come in this kind of packaging, is to try to scoop out enough before you kind of massage it into your face. Because then what you don't want to happen is that like, oh shoot, I've already massaged this into my face to remove my makeup, but I need more. And then like you're putting like your makeup back into the container. So just make sure you scoop out enough. But you massage it and it turns into an oil, dissolves into an oil, and then you massage it on your face, and that's going to help to loosen up even things like liquid lipstick, waterproof eye makeup, mascara, your foundation, your 10 layers of foundation. If you know, massage this into the skin, it's going to help to loosen that up, and then you wash your face, and your next step would be to move on to something like this, your gel cleanser or your cream cleanser. Right after that, and you're doing your double cleansing. And if you want more information on properly cleansing your skin, make sure you check out my Girl, Are You Properly Cleansing Your Skin video here on the channel. Next up, the Shortcut Overnight Facial Peel. This is something that has lactic and glycolic acid in it. And you smooth a thin layer onto clean, product-free skin, you leave on overnight, and then you cleanse in the morning. Now, a phrase that I quite often say here on this channel is don't do the most. And I feel like low-key Versed said in these directions to don't do the most, because you put this on product-free skin. Like, I feel like if you do too much sometimes with certain acids and mixing them with other actives, that, you know, you can irritate the skin and cause some unnecessary issues. And then, you know, a product that might have worked well for you, all of a sudden you're like, oh, I don't want that on my face because it burned me. When it's like, girl, no, you burned you because you did too much. Don't do the most. But anyway, all that to say, I didn't love this. It's like a cross between like a cream and an ointment, and it feels good on the skin. But if I'm gonna do a peel, and this is just my personal preference because, you know, again, there are different skincare products out there and different types of formulas because we have different preferences and different tolerance levels and so on and so forth. But if I'm gonna do an overnight peel, I'd rather do something that's in a liquid form just because I know that's gonna penetrate my skin better than this texture would. But that's just me. If you're someone who you're just trying things, you're just starting out, or you know that your skin is, pretty much on the sensitive side, you know, perhaps something like this might be up your alley, but it wasn't for me, but it could be for someone. So this was $9.99, which it's not bad. I think one of my favorite, and I don't think it's really an overnight peel, but the Blue Plasma from Perricone MD was one of my like favorite like peels that came in like that liquid form. That one was, of course, a lot more than $9.99. But see, that's where I wouldn't mind spending more money to get a product that I like, that I know is going to be more effective, than to spend $10 on something that I'm like, I don't like it. You know what I mean? So that's my thoughts on that. So those are the Verse products. There were a couple of other things that I had my eye on trying out, like their vitamin C powder, and I wanted to kind of look at their retinol, but they didn't have it at Target, and I just didn't want to wait to order it online and get it. Because to be honest with you, sometimes I buy products to try to review, and sometimes my attention span doesn't work well, and I forget about them. Which is the case with a bunch of Ordinary products that I bought during quarantine that I was like, oh, this is great, I'm home, I can do a bunch of reviews. This is what happens sometimes, but I'll probably try to do that somewhere down the line if it makes sense. But that is my overview on some of the Verse products that I have tried. I would say overall, it seems like a really nice brand, especially if you're someone who is looking for, you're looking for certain ethics in your skincare brands, and you're also looking for something that's affordable. Just understand that some of these things, like these clean and natural, I don't think I've seen anything here use the word natural. Anything that I've used the word natural in it, but just understand that these aren't things that are regulated, and sometimes they can kind of be used for marketing. But I think it's a pretty decent line. I love the aesthetics. The price points are really good. And you got some pretty standout things. I think the cleansing balm and the cleanser were really nice. I really loved the brightening solution. So there's some pretty standout products in the Verse skincare line. Again, I did a video on the mineral sunscreen. I will link that above and below. But let me know, have you tried any products from Verse skincare? What do you think? What do you think of the brand as a whole? Would you try any of these products? Just get all chitty chatty in the comments. Follow me on social. The links will be in the description box. Because when I'm not here on YouTube, I'm spreading my cheer elsewhere on the internet. And I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.